Hi guys, happy Monday. Today is March 30th and we are going to start our chapter 12 learning about geometry, and section 1 is all on circles and circumference. So as you are starting to write down these notes into your notebooks, I'm going to talk to you about a few definitions that we need to know. And since we're talking about the circle has a center. There's a circle center, and circles have diameter. And what is a diameter? It's the distance between from one edge to the other edge of the circle passing through this center. And I'm going to draw that, and that is the diameter. Now the radius is the distance from the center passing to any edge of the circle. Okay, so that's your radius. And circles have circumference, or distance around the circle. Okay, so all of that, if you go around, and you will get the circumference. So far so good, right? So think of the circumference as a perimeter. Like when we talk about rectangles, we say perimeter is, and that is a distance right around the shape. So circumference is sort of like a perimeter of the circle. Now, how would we find circumference? Circumference is found by multiplying pi, which is a ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. Okay, that's how we find pi, times d, diameter of the circle. Or if the diameter is not given, the formula changes to 2 times radius times pi, or I say 2 pi r, just somehow easier to remember. So moving on with our notes, we're going to start working on the first example. Now, in the first example, I have number 29.5 centimeters is given to us. And in geometry, the first thing you'll look at is what is given to us. You're going to ask yourself, what is given to me? And what is given to me is this number that is representing what? Tell me. And it is a diameter. So since 29.5 centimeters is a diameter, we're going to use a formula. Again, circumference equals to pi times d. And now let's just plug the numbers in. C equals to, we're going to use 3.14 for pi. Your textbook is using Scientific Calculator's pi button, and so if you're working out some problems from the textbook, your answer will be a little bit off, but that is okay as long as you're close. Times d, which is 29.5. When you multiply the two together, the answer will be 92.63, and that would be centimeters. Again, you need to see what it's asking you to round it to. This is rounded to the nearest hundred. The next example is example number 2. We have 1.7 centimeters, and I'm looking at this, and right away I know what is given to me, and that is a radius. Since we are given the radius, my formula to find circumference will be 2 pi r. 2 pi r. Or you can also find the diameter, multiply 1.7 times 2. So here we go. I'm going to write 2 times 3.14. Sorry about my penmanship on this iPad. And times 1. Oops. See what happens? It's okay, my first time. Times 1.7. And when you multiply all three together, you will get your answer as 10.68 inches. Is that inches or centimeters? It is in centimeters. Okay. Next example. I'm looking and I'm asked to find and I didn't write that in, so I'm gonna ask you to find the diameter, knowing the circumference of the circle. Now, as I said, diameter equals, and circumference is given to us. The circumference is given to us. So what I'm gonna write down first, just like I said, let's write down our formula. Circumference equals to, since I need to find the diameter, it's going to be pi times d. And let's just plug in the numbers that we are given. And we do have circumference, which is 62.8 equals to pi. We're going to use 3.14 times the diameter. How would I solve this equation? Easy, right? Opposite operation. I'm going to divide both sides by 3.14, and once you do so, your answer will be D equals to 20 centimeters. Now, ladies and gentlemen, centimeters. Okay, if you ask to find the radius, you know that the radius is half of the diameter, so 20 divided by 2 will give you 10 centimeters as your radius. Now, in the next example, we see something interesting, and that is a half a circle, supposedly. And how would we call half a circle? Well, we call it semicircle. Semicircle. And this is a semicircle. And what is given to me? What is that 5 inches? 5 inches is the radius. So I just wanted to make sure we know what circumference is of this particular shape. Notice I'm going to highlight something. It is half of the circle, and I'm going to use another color. Look at this distance right here. What is this distance right here? It is the diameter. So notice it's circumference cut in half plus the diameter of the circle, because we only need half. So let's write this down. To find the circumference, we write circumference equals to pi times d. Now, since it's half the circle, we're going to do divide by half, by 2. And of course, I said this is a diameter. I'm going to label that diameter. So I have to add the diameter into my formula. So now that I have it written down, I'm going to just plug in the numbers that I have. Circumference equals to 3.14 times the diameter. And we know the radius is 5, so diameter is 10. Okay, everything divided by 2 here. And then, of course, we have to add the diameter, which would be plus 10. When you solve that, you will get, what will you get? 25.7 inches. Okay, so don't forget, this is very important step. Don't forget to add the diameter in while finding the circumference of this irregular shape. The final problem that we have, I think this is it, is a Ferris wheel. So I don't have a picture for you. I'm just telling you there's a radius. You need to find the circumference. Again, I know that I'm going to use this formula. C equals to 2 pi r, and I'm going to just plug the numbers in. 2 times 3.14 times r, 113 meters. And I'm going to multiply them all together using a calculator, of course, and the answer is 709.64, and that is meters. Okay, so this is our lesson for today, and you're going to copy these notes, and then on your Google Doc there is a place to go with practice problems and some videos. And so good luck learning this. If you have any questions, please email me and I will clarify things for you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.